So it would be interesting to think about this coronavirus from another point of view. Whereas we're getting incredibly good advice about avoiding the virus in every possible way, what we haven't heard very much from the media is how to increase our own resistance should we happen to meet the virus. And it is here that Ayurveda, Maharishi Ayurveda, has some significant thoughts to offer. And I'd like to share with you some suggestions as to what you could be doing to improve your health currently and improve your immunity and strength and resistance, so that should you meet the virus, that your own immunity will prevent you getting too sick. So in order to do that, I'm just going to review a topic in Ayurveda called Ojas, because Ojas is, according to Ayurveda, the essence from good digestion and metabolism, which brings strength to our tissues, and it brings immunity, natural resistance. It helps us fight aging, disease, and it's located in the heart specifically, but circulates. But it is a superfine substance that we create. And it depends, of course, as our health generally does, on our lifestyle and our stress levels and trauma and the quality of relationships. But what would be interesting for us to do is to review what Ayurveda says improves our ojas, or our immunity. And though we may be doing some of these things, there may also be some things we can pick up on to do better. So the Ojas maintains the quality and strength of our tissues. It maintains good excretions. It maintains the balance of what Ayurveda calls our three fundamental dynamics of Vata, Pitta, Kapha. And it even maintains the flow of our awareness, our consciousness through our physiology. There are causes of disorders of Ojas, which are things like physical trauma or psychological trauma, or too much strain, or disease, or for pregnancy, the fetus is greatly affected by the diet and lifestyle. There are genetic causes. Excess sexual activity depletes Ojas. But what we're interested in is what we might do now, as we're mostly at home, to enhance our Ojas, to strengthen our immunity. And one thing is transcendence, which we'll talk about in a minute. Another is the quality of our relationships. And it's vitally important at this time that we keep our connections to family and friends by whatever media we can, if we're not living with them. But it's also wonderful to see the upsurge of neighborliness and friendship and offers of help, and how communities are coming together, because this actually is incredibly strengthening for everybody. And so enhancing the quality of relationships does have an impact on our immune system and is helpful. Since our immunity is nourished through the foods we eat and the power of our digestion and metabolism, obviously a good strong digestion and metabolism and the good quality foods will enhance our immunity. Our lifestyle is very important, and sleep also. Ayurveda also adds two further things. One is behavioral Rasayanas, which we'll talk about, and then herbal tonics to strengthen immunity, which we will talk about as well. So the first strategy, of course, is not to panic, because panic does us no good at all. It depletes our immune system, if anything. And so let's keep calm. And when we have anxiety, the best strategy would be to turn that around and substitute the determination to do whatever you can to be healthy through the things we're mentioning. And so that positive perspective will greatly help. Anxiety and stress, it does reduce your immunity. It also, from an Ayurveda point of view, impacts on digestion. And it is seen how stress can disturb the good bacteria in the gut. And these are very important, because Our immune system, 80% of it resides in the gut, and the good bacteria in our gut keeps our immune system toned up. So that's just from a modern perspective to confirm what Ayurveda would say, that the digestion is critical for good health generally, but also for our immunity. Also, focus on the things to protect yourself and your loved ones that we are hearing again and again in the media. I'd like to talk to you about transcendence. TM is a simple, natural technique to allow the mind to settle to its source, a state of stillness from which all our intelligence flows and the intelligence that organizes our body. The regular practice of TM has been shown to be very beneficial for health, and in particular, there is research showing enhanced immune system and up to 73% reduction in hospital admissions for respiratory conditions. So this would certainly suggest that doing TM regularly at this time will increase your resilience and your resistance. The other strategy in the old tradition of yoga from India was pranayama. And pranayama is a simple breathing exercise. A very simple strategy where we block one nostril and breathe in through the other. And after the in-breath, we transfer and breathe out through the other nostril and then in. And then we change over and breathe out and in. And we do that with eyes closed, just not straining the breath in any way, letting it come and go, but just directing it. But this is good for prana, and prana in Ayurveda is our life force, it's our healing potential. But prana resides in the lungs particularly, and so this is considered a lung tonic in Ayurveda. And it's something simple we could be doing at the moment for 5 minutes before our meditation. Digestion being critical for the production of good nourishment to our immune system and the production of Ojas, which gives us strength and immunity. If we want a good digestion, we should first of all be sure we're eating with hunger. If we're hungry, our digestion is ready and we digest very, very well. So be hungry for breakfast, for the midday meal, for your evening meal. Only snack between meals if you're hungry. Then to help your digestion, very obvious, simple strategies, but important. Sit when you eat in a settled environment. Don't eat when emotionally upset, postpone until you're feeling a bit stronger. Be relaxed in your eating and eat with awareness, enjoying the company and enjoying the food. Cooked fresh foods are better, avoiding cold foods and drinks which are harder to digest, and taking sips of hot water with a meal and not too much fluids. Take your drinks more between the meals. After a meal, sit for 5 minutes and not to exercise or exert too much immediately after a meal. And then when you think about the foods that would promote Ojas and immunity will be foods that are easy to digest, that are organic, that are fresh fruits and cooked warm vegetables and whole grains and legumes and lighter dairy products, but avoiding things that are heavy and therefore hard to digest, like ice creams, cheeses, chocolates, processed foods, frozen foods. So lightly cooked, fresh, hot meals are actually better, and we create more Ojas from them. And then another thing is using spices in cooking. Immune boosting spices would include fennel, cumin, black pepper, turmeric, coriander, cinnamon, ginger. And then certain foods create more immunity, or more Ojas, as Ayurveda would say, such as apples and sweet juicy fruits and leafy green vegetables, whole grains, ghee, and boiled organic milk. Boiling the milk makes it so much easier to digest. You could also support your digestion by things that are very simple, like sipping hot water with a meal or using the spices, or a combination of ginger, lemon, salt, and honey. Just chop ginger root with a squeeze of lemon, pinch of salt, and as much honey as makes it tasty. A teaspoonful of that before the meal can really support digestion. Or making a drink, putting a teaspoonful of each of fennel, cumin, coriander powders, and some freshly grated ginger into a litre of water, bringing it to the boil for a few minutes, filtering it and putting it in a thermos flask, drinking that through the day. There are Ayurvedic combination of spices called churnas. There's a Vata Churna, Pitta Churna, Kapha Churna, or Herbal Digest tablets, which would support digestion. And these are available from Ayurveda.ie. So using digestives, eating in a relaxed manner, eating with hunger to support hunger, these are simple, obvious health strategies, but they are significant, and it is valuable just to remember these things. Our digestive system working well will be enhanced by clearing the toxins from our body, and our whole metabolism will work better then, and we can clear it through the bowel motions. And if we're not having a regular, easy elimination each morning, Triphala or Triphala with rose tablets or Triphala powder, taken at bedtime with lukewarm water, that's very helpful, taking sufficient to give us good elimination. And another simple thing is sipping hot water helps clear toxins. But drinking enough fluids to keep your urine dilute, that's helping you to clear toxins through your kidneys. Exercise also is a way of helping our metabolism to shift toxins. If you understand Ayurveda, you'll know about Vata, Pitta, Kapha, and the need to keep them balanced. And at the moment, balancing Vata is pretty easy because stress, hopefully, is less now that we're more at home and we're on a good routine, and resting and meditation and yoga and massage are excellent. And even Pitta we may find easier now because it's eased by relaxing and enjoying, and family and friends and interests. And Kapha, we want to be up early. We want a main meal in the middle of the day, eating light, hot, spiced foods. But the routine that's most healthy is early to bed, early to rise, main meal midday. Body cleanses between 10 and 2 at night, it detoxes better. So getting to bed early means that the hour before midnight is or 2 after is actually a true statement of the situation from Ayurveda point of view. And then between 2 and 6, the mind sorts itself out, and then we should really be up early-ish in the morning. But the main meal should be in the middle of the day, because our digestion, again, in the middle of the day, is at its best, and we get most from the food at that time. Sleep is so important. It's like overnight, your immune system, the defense forces in your body are rearmed. And it literally that your immune system is greatly enhanced by a good night's sleep. And that was shown in research where they deliberately gave people exposure to the cold virus. Now, those who had slept less than 7 hours, 50% of them got the cold. But those who had slept 8 hours, less than 20%, 18% only. So it shows that for the cold virus, which is a cousin of this current coronavirus, that sleep enhances your immunity. So it's very obvious at the moment you should be getting 8 hours sleep, and ideally at the right time, early to bed, 10 o'clock would be ideal. Exercise may be challenging for us at the moment if we're confined, but still yoga, if you know yoga, and the sun salute can be done, and whatever exercise you can do will at this point in time be helpful. Now, there's one other thing that we want to think about from an Ayurveda point of view, and it's what's called Rasayanas. Rasayanas are that which causes Ojas to be produced all over the body. And their Rasayanas can be defined in terms of behavioral Rasayanas. And this is very interesting at the moment, that Ayurveda would say that your immunity is enhanced by your very speech and action. Not just what you take in terms of your life's experiences, but what you give out. And giving out love and compassion and uplifting speech and your own cleanliness and your own charitableness, religious observance, respecting the elders, which is wonderful to see at the moment, how the whole community is coming together to support their elders. But this is good for those respecting the elderless and helping the people who have to cocoon. So being positive. Other behaviors like self-control, simplicity, sweet speaking, being calm, plenty of sleep. So all of these things are doable at the moment, and avoid anger, violence, strain, conceit. All these things disrupt your system and dissipate your ojas. So it leaves you more vulnerable. So consider your own behavior. And the other thing that Rasayanas are described in Ayurveda are these Rasayana herbs. But herbs in Ayurveda are more like tuning forks, if you like. They vibrate and harmonize the function of aspects of the physiology. Because Maharishi Ayurveda sees the body as basically information materialized. It's like the intelligence of the body in all the tissues, motivating and mobilizing and structuring and restructuring. And so these patterns of intelligence in all our tissues, well, they're reflected in the patterns of intelligence that structure the plants and herbs around us. So Ayurveda has this great wisdom of what herbs enhance what dynamics and what intelligence in the body to recreate more health. So it's also true that the nutrients in the herbs, like the antioxidants and the antiviral elements and the nutrition, are having their effect on the physical level. But it's nice to know there are subtle effects from Maharishi Ayurveda products. Now, at the moment, I would say as a protective, Amar Kalash is really a very profound tonic. There's over 50 different herbs. It takes days to process them to make this tonic Amar Kalash. It comes as a paste, it comes as tablets, it comes as capsules. And either of the three are really good for immunity. There's also Herbal Cold Season Defense, but I think there's been a run on that. And there's another one, 1405, Breathe Easy. Breathe Easy is a specific tonic to enhance the immunity in the respiratory area. So a tablet of that twice a day would be another alternative to the Amar Kalash. Nasal drops, if you cannot get the MA735, even putting sesame oil up your nostrils, especially if you're going to go out, would be a simple suggestion, because sesame seed oil has been shown to be antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. So if you have it lining your nostrils, it just may protect. If, however, you did start to get a fever and there was concern, there's a very good herbal in Maharishi Ayurveda called MA630. I would take 2 tablets of that twice a day with some honey after meals. I'd also go on high dose vitamin C, maybe 1,000 milligram tablets, 2 of those every few hours, and zinc tablets as supplements just at that moment to boost the immunity. And so the whole purpose of Ayurveda is to create health. The whole emphasis in current medicine is to treat disease. And I think that that's why politicians and health administrators are missing out in their advice currently about what you can do to create your health. And so I think it's good that you should hear about Ayurveda and hear about these simple strategies that you can do, and do as much as you can. A really good night's sleep, really good nutrition, really good emotional support, connection, good speech, good thinking. These simple things, but they make a difference. And just as encouragement, the characteristics of the healthy ojas that you can produce is happy, cheerful, blissful disposition, loving, compassionate nature, strong immunity, which is what we're emphasizing here, good retention of knowledge, eyes full of luster, glowing skin, shining hair, clarity, strength, stamina, and endurance. What I'd wish for you is all of this, good health, particularly over the next couple of weeks. Thank you for your attention. It's been a joy to share with you this wonderful wisdom from Ayurveda.